So what is the difference between relationship and marriage? It's quite simple. Marriage is an officiated relationship with a marriage contract. Relationship, on the other hand, is just when two or more objects have some sort of a link, are linked by something. It can be an emotion, it can be a feeling, it can be a certain past, it can be certain experiences, it can be people, it can be kids, it can be same parents, right? I have a relationship with my siblings. I have a relationship with my kids. I have a relationship with my exes. I have a because I have kids with them. So, different relationships, right? Marriage is simply when we take a relationship and we box it into a certain written contract with different clauses. I shall not do this, I shall not do this, I shall do this, and I shall do this, with different consequences for those clauses. Okay? And so what happens often is that we cling to this marriage because it gives us a sense of certainty. Oh well, my wife is obliged to give me support, care, love, sex, blowjob, and so on and so forth, right? But we forget about our obligations towards our wife, which is to support her. And the way that our wife needs support is strikingly different from the way we need support, men. And unfortunately what happens is that we go to school, we go to university sometimes, we go to colleges and things of that nature, but we never learn how to operate a successful relationship, yet alone a successful marriage. There is no school for that, okay? And so it's all trial and error. Now imagine what the society would look like if we went into a company, if we were building technology companies. Well, technology companies is a lot through trial and error, but nevertheless, if we didn't have the base for learning, like mathematics and language skills and written skills and so on and so forth, right? Imagine what would our society look like if we didn't have that. Well, we go to school, learn mathematics, English lessons, history, and so on and so forth, but we never learn relationships. And that's a big problem. And so we go into our marriages with those misperceptions about what a relationship should look like that we take from Hollywood and Bollywood and all the other places like that. That they give us that everything is going to be rosy and smiley and a happy ending. Well, a happy ending there is at first, right? That's why we get married in the first place, because men, we have lots of happy endings. But unfortunately, wife doesn't have a happy ending. And so, just in this aspect. And so eventually, the Hollywood or other movies from birth, right? All these Disney movies and things like that, they don't teach us about struggles in the relationship. They don't teach us about communication skills, mediation skills, conflict resolution skills. They don't teach any of this. And so we end up slowly but surely decaying our relationships. And obviously that leads to a breakdown. But once the breakdown of the relationship happens, marriage cannot exist anymore. And so that leads to a breakdown of marriage. However, the breakdown of the marriage does not break the relationship if there are kids. Okay? So if there are kids, the relationship continues. We still need to, if we care about our kids, of course, we still must maintain a relationship. One way or another. At the very least, on a logistical level. Because through kids, we're linked. And so, even if divorce happens, we need to do everything that we can in order to have a benevolent, caring, even loving relationship with our partners. Why? Because the kids, you can tell kids things, right? You can say things, but communication is 90% non-verbal, okay? So what the kids perceive, as opposed to what we tell kids, are two different things. And so they feel everything, okay? For them, the subconscious mind is 100% of their world. For us, it's hidden under a big pile of shit. But for them, it's 100% of the world. So they feel everything, okay? They feel if mommy and daddy fight. They feel if mommy and daddy don't like each other. And then they kind of face all kind of traumatic events and all kinds of traumatic experiences, like, do I go with daddy? Do I go with mommy? Do I like more mommy? Do I like more daddy? Do I tell mommy about daddy? Do I tell daddy about mommy? And things like that. And then what happens with them is they take everything personally. Like, mommy and daddy are perfect, they're gods. And so if there's a problem, it's me. If divorce happens, it's because of me. And from that on, their mental world, their world map, or their mental map, is formed in such a way that they become, in their own eyes, unworthy, unlovable, undeserving, and things of that nature. And from those big roots spring big trees of all kinds of traumatics events, of all kinds of misperceptions, misinterpretations of the world that will affect their life in terms of health, relationship, money, love, and their connection with the Creator. That's what's happening. So even if we divorce, we must maintain a good relationship to the point where the significant other doesn't feel animosity towards us, at the very least is neutral, and preferably has some sort of a benevolence and admiration and respect towards us as well, because of, at the very least, the work we do on ourselves, right? And work there is to do. So I hope that helped differentiate between what a relationship and what a marriage is. So even if marriage breaks down, the relationship goes on because we have kids, and that relationship still needs caring. So if you struggle with co-parenting after divorce, if you struggle with finding a new partner after divorce, if you struggle with taking care of your kids after divorce, there is a link below this video for a free strategic session. You can book online with me, and we're going to diagnose all the different blocks and what you need to do to eliminate them. All right? See you in the next video. Take care.